Hey, it's Mike Caruso, publisher of the Fisherman Magazine, and today, this is a very special day. We are here with Garrett Weir, the first place winner of the 2019 Dreamboat Fishing Challenge. And, this is a special occasion here because it's a season-long, region-wide, multi-species fishing contest to win a grand prize, which is a Steiger Craft 23-foot boat with an Evinrude engine and Lowrance electronics. This guy makes the boat. I'm standing beside me to the right is Allan Steiger. And, we are at Steiger Craft here in Bellport, New York. And, I'm also here with Angela, and Angela is part of the Fisherman team. And if you've been in the Dreamboat contest and ever had questions, Angela would be the one who would answer them. And she kept great management and organization of the Dreamboat contest, so we appreciate that. But this is a really big thing, all right? So to win this boat, you're competing with every angler, every fisherman subscriber who enters a fish into the contest, and you're literally competing against every angler in the Northeast who's a subscriber to the Fisherman. And to me, that's an incredible feat, and you did it, man. And I'd love to learn a little bit more about how you actually, strategized and you fished with this contest in mind. Is there something you can do to share to others who, maybe want to win it next year?
Sure. First and foremost, this is amazing. I'm at a loss for words at the beginning of this. Thank everyone up here. Mike, Al, thank you so much.
Congrats.
Andrew for your assistance. This is a true testament to resilience, a true testament to just kind of getting out there and getting it. As fishermen, we work extremely hard and we're extremely anal when it comes to being out in the water, time, preparation, and I think that when all this culminates, that's where you get a true champion or someone who wins tournaments, someone who just goes out there and gets it. And I think that I kind of fit into that mold. I think that my preparation, I live by something called the 7 Ps, this mantra of piss poor preparation produces piss poor performance. And my preparation is second to none. I personally think that I am one of the most competitive people I know, going back to my collegiate baseball days, professional baseball days. It's just something that, a fire that burns in me. Last year, some may know that I fell a little short of winning first place, and that fire was lit in me. And literally, I spent the winter writing in my log on what exactly the game plan would be. And so kind of answering your question directly, preparing, I literally mapped out. First and foremost, you have to know your area. You have to know where you're fishing, the migration patterns of water temperature. Fishing isn't as easy as just putting a worm on a hook and throwing it out there and hoping that you catch a fish. Fishing gets extremely detailed. And the more detail-oriented you become, the better fisherman you become. And that goes to, whether you're young fishermen out there, where I was telling Mike, I have a Fisherman Magazine from 1987, where I was 5 years old, that I found my parents' home. And I have one from 92, I want to say it's spring. And I remember telling my dad, who's also here, that I want to be in this magazine. And my dad said, "Oh, we have to catch a 50-pound striper to get in the magazine." And back then, we fished on the surf a lot. I grew up being a tremendous surf fisherman, bay fisherman. I grew up in Brooklyn. We lived in East New York, and my family moved to Canarsie when I was in high school, which I went to the Great Canarsie High School. And this Canarsie really kind of nurtured me in becoming a good fisherman. Fishing at Canarsie Pier, fishing in the Rockaways, fishing at Breezy Point Jetty. Just kind of fishing at Sheepshead Bay, the illustrious Sheepshead Bay, where you have this aura of fishermen, the boats, the bay fishermen, and you kind of, cut your teeth learning from these guys. I listened extremely well, asked a lot of questions. I remember getting on my bike at 13 and 14 years old, riding my bike on the Bell Parkway, bike path to Canarsie, from Canarsie to Sheepshead Bay to get on a boat. I remember negotiating with the guys because I didn't have enough money to get on the boats. They were $50. Hey guys, I'm 15 years old. Could you let me on for $20? But that was the passion. That's where it started. So fast forward, I'm just readying myself for this year. Again, all in preparation, so all in planning, knowledge of one's background, the area you fishing, and then more so, chasing the big fish. So chasing the big fish is more than just a saying. There's 8 species. Where do you want to catch these species? We're not gonna catch a mahi in Peconic Bay, right? You got to go out and get a mahi. You may not catch a 20-pound blackfish, which I'm chasing now. You're not gonna catch that fish in, at a dock, right? You have to really say, I'm gonna put myself in a space in an area where I'm gonna catch that big fish, and that's where the planning took place.
Yeah, so one of my questions would be, it sounded like you were pretty systematic with your approach this year for the fishing season, and you had the dream boat in your sight. So you pulled out a calendar, you put your kind of best locations, where to be for each species when. Is that fairly accurate?
Yes.
And
yes.
So there's the follow-up question is, how good did you do your planning? Was that calendar, what you put on that calendar, places you thought were going to be the better places, did that work out well for you?
You know what? Yes and no. So you also have to be versatile, because it's times where we say you have to receive from the ocean what the ocean gives you. Sometimes you're out in the water and the water may erupt. You may be bottom fishing and all of a sudden you see bait on the screen, so you have to switch things up. That's where you might get a bluefish.
Right.
That's where you might start bucktailing and get a sea bass. I'll give you a good example of what I mean. I caught my big porgy in Massachusetts, 4 pounds. It took a small white crab, and many of us, we don't fish for porgies or white crabs, but they were mixed in.
Yeah.
I'm not spot burning here, but it was a mussel bed, natural bottom, and the tog were mixed in with the porgies and some sea bass, and the big, hubcap porgies were chewing along with the tog, and we were using tog jigs, and the big porgy took a tog jig on a whole small little baby white crab. So to give you an idea of just knowing how to target different fish. I got my big sea robin in my backyard, Breezy Point jetty, believe it or not. So a lot of us fish for, and again, I hope guys don't think I'm spot burning here. I'm really not. We catch everything there from football size albies to bonita. The same day I had caught bonita, I caught fluke, and mixed in with those big fluke there. A buddy of mine caught 11-pound fluke there. And one day, I finished up work early. I wanted to bend the rod, and I was in the area. While bucktailing for fluke, I caught that big sea robin. So you just never know. And sometimes the planning may go awry and things don't kind of fall into line, but it's about making sure you salvage that day on the water. Every day on the water, you have to make sure you get the most out of it, from the first time you drop the line in to what we say the last cast.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think anyone here knows how competitive this is, more so than Angela, because Angela gets the calls, and people who, maybe some of you out there who entered fish, want to make sure that entry came into the office. Angela, just share give us a little insight to how competitive you've experienced the contest to be through your conversations with people who call in and email you and correspond.
Okay. So fishermen really like fishing, and that's very clear with this contest, which I'm happy to be a part of. So what happens is, I actually feel kind of bad sometimes, because people send us these really great entries, and because I see 12 to almost 20-pound fluke every year, when I get the picture of a 6-pounder, I'm not that excited because it barely makes the leaderboard. Yeah. What I think is great about this contest is that everybody's going to be fishing anyway, right? And this kind of gives you the opportunity to strategize and really make the most of your time fishing. give you an extra reason to fish, which, you know, we could all use, right? Would you say that? It was you were going to fish anyway all year, right?
Why not do a competitive?
And now you're going to get a boat because of it.
Absolutely.
So as far as entries that come in, everybody's always really excited. A lot of the fish that I see are people's personal bests, which are, you know, incredible. We're happy to see how skilled and talented our anglers are, our subscribers are. It blows me away every year. And obviously, somebody like Garrett, there you go. I mean, it's a boat, not a crown, but I mean, we could probably wrangle up a crown somewhere.
We're gonna wear it as a crown,
right? I mean,
so great.
So being a part of the contest is really cool. It's really exciting to see everybody else's excitement about it, and the fact that, you know, we get to hand out great prizes, including this amazing boat package, is really fun for me all year.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better. And yeah, the competitive nature is one thing, and you know, definitely want to shout out to all 80 finalists, anybody who entered a fish, and we certainly thank you for doing that. And you know what? It's an accomplishment when you consider the scale of this. I mean, the Fisherman reaches from Maine all the way down to Delaware, and subscribers in between, everywhere in between, are competing. And so, no small task. Every one of those fish on the final standings board are accomplishments, and we thank you guys for that. But one of the things I know everybody's chomping at the bit about is, you know, the boat itself. I mean, the boat is an amazing prize, and Allan Steiger has been building boats for decades and decades, and are some of the most revered boats by fishermen. They've got the features and performance attributes that really lend themselves to fishing in a big, big way, Al. And Al, you're a fisherman yourself. Just tell us, just give us a little overview of that 23, and I really want to thank you for being the title sponsor of this. I know you personally now through the years, and it's been a pleasure to work with you. So thank you so much, and tell us a little bit about this boat.
Well, one of the things about this boat, or about my history a little bit, is I've been fishing since I was like 7 years old. Right. And talking to Garrett, he's been fishing with his father since he was 7 years old. And now he has a 5-year-old that's fishing with him. So it's a family tradition. And, you know, it's a great sport, keeps the families together, and you couldn't have a better time. So we've designed these boats to fish. Like Garrett said, he's going fishing tomorrow. He don't care if it snows.
Yeah. Now,
that's because he's younger than us now. But I used to be out there in the snow and the ice and kosher salt on the decks. And, you know, the thing about our boats are they can take it. They can take the cold. They can break ice. They got cabins. They got heat. So it's a safe platform to fish on all year round. And it's great to have Garrett as one of the winners. He did a great job and did a lot of work to do it. I know it's not an easy thing. And, you know, next year, he should do even better with his own boat. So it should be great.
Yeah.
And we're all looking forward to going fishing with him because he knows what these big blackfish are, he said. Now he can get out to 17 all winter with that boat. So it should be great.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, you know, fishing is a combination of skill and luck. And but you got to have the right tools, you know. And so a boat that's designed in the way that these are really gives you a great edge. I mean, right down to the sinker lockers along the bottom of the gunnel, or you know the way the transom's laid out, the way they ride, the way you have that 3, even 4 season fishability. You know, and so...
Well, you know, we're in New England. It's cold up here.
Yeah.
So it's even cold here in June. So in January, it's really cold. So the pilot house is really the answer. You know, you have a nice, warm pilot house, dry, and you have a big cockpit to fish in. So I've designed these boats to be in our New England waters.
Yeah, definitely. And so this contest, there's one requirement. You've got to be a subscriber to the Fisherman. And, you know, if you're watching this, you very likely are. If not, that's really all it takes to enter. Aside from a great entry ticket into the biggest contest in the Northeast with not only the best grand prize, but I think the greatest bragging rights in all of fishing in the Northeast. But aside from that, Fisherman is an information source. Absolutely. And I know you've been involved in reading it and a subscriber for a long time. Can you just give us a couple of insights into, you know, what is it about the Fisherman Magazine and what we do on the fisherman.com, our e-newsletter, social media? You know, what is it that you could share with others out there about how it's useful for you?
So probably the most important thing or the most beneficial thing is just getting the POV point of view from other fishermen.
Yeah.
Majority of the fishermen that contribute to the articles or the contributing articles are fishermen.
Yeah.
And like you and like myself. So having that perspective of, you know, how to arrange your baits, how to prepare for a trip, how to catch certain fish in certain situations, it's all beneficial. And I have the magazine sitting in my restroom, have the magazine in my man cave. I read it from front to back every time the magazine comes out. I've done it for years, as long as I can remember. And that information is useful because as fishermen, we're always looking for new strategies and new ways. You never stop learning. You're always finding new things. And just being able to have that, you know, Bible there and utilizing it, and it's made for us. We're Northeast guys. You know, so we're talking about spots in Montauk, Great South Bay. You're talking about spots in Massachusetts, all in our backyards where we fish. So to not, you know, so there are some publications that are nationwide. And you know what? They may talk about a place that you may only fish once in your lifetime. Well, when I read the Fisherman Magazine, I'm fishing these spots every year. I may fish these spots several times a year. So having that in your back pocket and utilize that knowledge to kind of make you aware and to acclimate yourself with the surroundings to now when you actually put yourself in that situation you're fishing, it's really beneficial. And I think that, again, the Fisherman Magazine has always been something that I've always kind of turned to. I remember, again, before I was a subscriber as a 14-year-old kid, buying them for $1.25, I would go to the stationery store and buy it. It was, you know, I've always utilized the Fisherman Magazine. I think you should as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, that's a really wonderful description, and I know a lot of people use the magazine in the same way. You know, we're really building over the last couple of years a kind of a roster of really accomplished anglers who are winning these Steiger crafts. You know, Dave Weissman, Sam Dibner last year. And now you, and we couldn't be more proud of you and happy to have you as part of one of our grand prize winners. And you know, I wish you very good luck and safe boating, you know, with the new 23 Steiger. And you know, we hope to, you know, hear and see a lot more of you. And Al, I know there's some great things in your pipeline in terms of some new boats coming out. Yeah. And these guys are always developing, and so it's an exciting event for all of us here, and you know, I hope you all out there, you know, get involved, and you know, it's achievable. I think that's the one thing. It's definitely achievable, and you can bring your passion for fishing to the highest level, as Garrett has. And so,
I'd like to add one thing, though. Like, as the oldest guy in the room now, the Fisherman has really turned into the major magazine of the fishing industry in New England, in my opinion. You know, Mike has really did a phenomenal job, and one of the reasons is we all get along so well is we're all fishermen. Yeah. So we have a fishing magazine being run by a fisherman. This is like a boat company being run by a fisherman. Yeah. And just like you, a fisherman, that we can all have a conversation. And if we start talking about your business, my business, halfway through we'd all be talking about fishing. What do you call it? Where? What that? Because that's what it's all about. And that's how come the Fisherman is doing so well. Yeah. And it's really the great magazine to read. The monthly issues are unbelievable. The weeklies, I read the weeklies every week. I want to find out what's happening in Shinnecock, what's happening in Montauk, what's in Sheephead Bay. Because I talk to everybody. I sell boats up and down the country, so I know where the fish are biting everywhere. Normally not by me. Oh, you should have been in Rockaways yesterday. Oh, yeah, but,
exactly.
But it's a great network of guys, and everybody gets along, and it's a terrific thing. And it's all about sport fishing, you know. Yeah. That's the key. It's not about commercial fishing. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody's doing this and trying to keep the species going for our next generations, and that's what's really important. And Mike's doing a wonderful job. Well,
thanks. I mean, it's really the relativity of our community and all of us who consider ourselves avid anglers or just live the fishing lifestyle is really something we all enjoy. And you know, I love this event for that reason because, you know, we are involved with others from sponsors and certainly all the participants who feel the same way and engage in a friendly competition. And, you know, it's just wonderful to have another great year. Stay tuned for our 2020 Dreamboat Fishing Contest where, little spoiler alert, this man ups the game.
Maybe.
Ups the game, and we're looking at an even larger boat next year. So we're super excited, and this boat, all the boats are great. This boat's special. And so more to come on that. And until May May 1st, I believe, is our commencement for the 2020. Until then, look for the details in the Fisherman Magazine. Come see us at the shows or come to thefisherman.com, where you can sign up. Get that subscription. You got to be in it to win it. Thanks and good luck. Safe fishing to you all.
Yeah.
That was good.
I'm glad to be involved.
Yeah. No.